Hi folks, back with more ancient cosmography, studying the Red Hand of Ulster, which seems to be the North Antrim Hills, and with the North Antrim glens helping delineate the fingers and thumb, and the shape of the coastline delineating the thumb and the fingers. And it seems to be that according to the old Celtic story, it's like the giant wants to become Lord of Ireland. There's a race. Whichever giant's hand touches the shore of Ireland becomes Lord. They're neck and neck, so one of the giants cuts off his own hand, throws it at the shore, throws it across the Sea of Moyle, and then it touches the shore, and then he becomes Lord of Ireland. So I think that's basically Britain entirely is that giant. In one version he's called Finn McCool, in some versions he's Finn McCool's father or some other Fenian giant. And so yeah, Argyll seems to be his arm. This is part of Scotland that I zoomed in on. It's a peninsula that sticks out around here. And then, he's probably competing with the other, what may represent the other giant that's neck and neck with him might be this peninsula here of like Galloway, basically, which actually is almost as close to Ireland as Argyll is. But, since I zoomed in on Argyll, it looks much closer, and I had to push Ireland out to make way for this. So, and so it corresponds with this ancient, Egyptian avatar, which seems to show Britain as a giant and, holding 3 hostages, which seem to be Ireland, separated out as Ulster, Connacht, and Munster. And you notice that there is pixelated, but you can see that they're painted with a red outline. And so that could relate to the reddish rocks in Ireland. I mean, I've increased that because I increased the saturation to highlight the reddish brown hand. It's a dark red actually hand, so it's the bloody hand of Ulster, bloody red hand of Ulster. So it's not really bright red like this, it's more of a dark red, sort of iron, or I don't know what's the way to say that, but like the color of blood or dried blood from where his bloody hand. In some stories it's that the hand is not necessarily here, but in some stories it actually is. This is just the imprint of the hand, and the bloody imprint because it was covered with blood. And I found this new image of just Britain. So it shows, it seems to be that the legs are both, Cornwall and Devon down here. That's, I think one foot is this part right here. That's my guess, that this between here and here is 1 foot, and the other foot is back here. And then, the indent is like here, indent, and then his butt that kind of sticks out is I don't forget what these areas are called, but basically these two peninsulas are like his butt cheeks or something, and then London is right in the butt crack there. And Wales seems to be this harness which is painted red, and does actually, I mean, you can't see it here, but does actually have more reddish hues, in fact, compared to England. And then I'm not exactly sure what this little thing represents. Something up here. And maybe this or something. I'm not sure what the head is. I'm not sure if his head is meant to be this whole part of Scotland up here, or something smaller like the, Orkney or something, or Skye. I don't know, but it's it certainly does show the arm pretty well, that it has a shorter upper arm and then a longer forearm, and severed wrist, and so there's that. Let's see. So I'm not sure where I left off last time. So I'll go to here. The North Channel connects the Irish Sea with the Atlantic Ocean and is part of the marine area officially classified as the inner seas of the west coast of Scotland by the International Hydrographic Organization. The Straits of Moyle, Struthnamoyle in Irish and Scottish Gaelic, or Sea of Moyle, is the name given to the narrowest expanse of sea in the North Channel between northeast Northern Ireland, County Antrim, and southwestern Highlands of Scotland, Mull of Kintyre. So this is from Wikipedia, from the North Channel entry. The distance between the two shores is approximately 12 miles at its closest point, and thus it is possible to see across in clear weather conditions. The Straits gave their name to Moyle District Council, a local government area in Northern Ireland. So Moyle District Council is the hand. So it's all like the same etymology. Mull and Moyle are, this is the Mull of Kintyre, this is the Straits of Moyle, and this is the District of Moyle, is this hand. So Moyle and Mull are translated to mean like bald or bare or denuded, shaven, shorn. So it could relate to these mountains being bare of trees. Although now they've ruined the hand by like artificially planting a bunch of trees all over it. There's a bunch of, like, all the black parts are all like artificial forests. But what can you do? So it's all Mull, Moyle. And there's even a chance that it's from etymology, since it can mean shorn, it could even refer to the cutting of the hand, but who knows? In the 1800s, this strait was sometimes referred to in general terms as the Irish Channel. In the 19th century, Alexander Keith Johnstone suggested name St. Patrick's Channel had currency, but it was rejected by the Hydrographic Department. The narrowest part of the strait is between the Mull of Kintyre and Torhead, where its width is 19 kilometers, 12 miles, 10 deepest part is called Buford's Fort. The North Channel was a favorite haunt of privateers, so that's like pirates, preying on British merchant shipping in wars until the 19th century. In 1778, during the American Revolutionary War, it was also the site of the naval duel between the American captain John Paul Jones's USS Ranger and the Royal Navy's HMS Drake. And John Paul Jones was from Scotland himself, so he may have known these waters. It is crossed by many ferry services. In 1953, the channel was the scene of a serious maritime disaster, the sinking of the ferry Princess Victoria. And people swim across it. And what else do we got? Here is a map showing the Straits of Moyle. So the Straits of Moyle go between here. This is the hand right here, the thumb and the fingers. And this is the stump. So Straits of Moyle are right between them. This is Rathlin Island. Let's see. So 470. Okay, well, these are like examples of the Red Hand of Ulster. It's kind of out of order here, but this is the flag for the province of Ulster, 4 provinces, flag of Ireland, flag of Northern Ireland Parliament, badge worn by baronets of the United Kingdom, seal with left hand for the courteous baronets, coat of arms of the GNR, Great Northern Railway in Ireland. Republican National Graves Association, Belfast. So that would be like nationalists. So it's like both sides of the community value, respect the Red Hand for the most part. Arms of O'Neill Hall at the University of Notre Dame. Arms of McGuinness of Ivy. Arms of McCartan, a branch of the McGuinness. So let's see, what is this? Here's the Strait of, again, like this is something just showing the Straits of Moyle. And it has a picture of it, and it's clearly just between this stump and this hand. You can see the top of the hand there, at least. And so Finn McCool might be the name of Britain, like basically Finn means white, just like the Egyptian name for Britain. Britain has white cliffs of Dover famously. Like if you're sailing along the coast of Europe and you see Britain, it's the white island. So that's why the Egyptians called it Sakami, which means white. And then Finn means white, and the Greeks called it Albion, which means white, and the Romans called it Alba, which means white, and even the Scots carried on that name, Alba. According to the Leberguren, the ancestors of the Gaels were living in the Iberian Peninsula, ruled by 2 sons of Mil, Eberdon and Erimon. After Mil's uncle Ith made a voyage to Ireland, but was murdered by its 3 kings, Macul, Macech, Macren of the Tuatha De Danann. So that could be these 3 hostages. It could be those 3 kings. Because the Tuatha De Danann are like the gods in some some say. The 7 sons of Mill led an invasion in 36 ships. They landed in County Kerry and fought their way to Tara. On the way, the wives of the 3 kings, Ariu, Banba, and Fodla, requested that the island be named after them. Ariu is the earlier form of the modern name Ayr, and Banba and Fodla were used as poetic names for Ireland, such as Albion for Britain, much as Albion is for Britain. So Albion means white. Banba. So it could be where they refer to the Scottish giant as being something, Banbala or something, that maybe that's actually the Irish giant and Finn is the British giant, which means Albion. At Tara, the sons of Mill met the 3 kings, and it was decreed that the invaders return to their ships and sail a distance of 9 waves from Ireland, and if they were able to land again, Ireland would be theirs. They set sail, but the Tuatha Dé used magic to brew up a storm in which 5 of the sons were drowned, leaving only Eber, Finn, Eramon, and Emergin the poet to land and take the island in the Battle of Tailtiu. Emergin divided the kingship between Eramon, who ruled the northern half, and Eber Finn, the southern. So Finn means white. And it's the southern part of Britain, which is the white part. And maybe it's even the southern part of Ireland, which is also more white. So